Chapter 4, Small Town Charms. You and Cass are headed out of the woods together when suddenly a vampire slams her against a tree, pinning her there with superhuman force. It's over for the both of you now. Cass! You fumble for the disorientation talisman on your wrist, planning to use it to help Cass, but she stops you in your tracks. Don't do anything. You'll only alert the others. You freeze, heart hammering in your throat as you look between her glowering face and her captor's snarling one. Her hunting party's close behind, you know. Some of them are on the brink of bloodlust. What do you think they do to you to get to her? I'm more interested in what you think you're about to do to get to her, Margot. Cass grips Margot by the wrists, yanks, tearing her hands free from her jacket lapels, and for a moment the two stare each other down, Margot holding Cass's gaze. Then, with a shake of the head, the other vampire backs down, giving Cass the space to help you up from the ground. Nothing, of course. Sorry, it's been too long since my last feeding. You had me worried for a second there. I thought we'd have to turn this force into a Venedai Coven battle royale. Keep hanging out with humans this close to the town limits, we just might. Hunger clouds the mind, Harlow. Hey, who among us hasn't been hangry? Margot's gaze falls on you, and even as your talisman cools off, a shiver runs down your spine. Subtly, Cass shifts to block her eye line. I'll lead the party back another direction, but you two need to get out of here. I covered for you once, Cass, but it won't happen a second time. And if you know what's good for you, you'll stop hanging around with a human. Before you can blink, she's gone. The threat lingering in her wake, Cass turns to you with a grin. Close one up. I was sure she'd overheard your little theory, but I think we're in the clear. Your heart still hammering in your chest, you look at Cass in disbelief. Gabrielle was right. You don't take anything seriously, do you? Our arguing attracted a bloodthirsty vampire who almost overheard us discussing something that would get me killed and you tortured. So why are you still smiling? Because no, girl, the optimal word is almost. Now. She turns around and motions for you to get on her back. Let's get out of here. You two bolt through the woods and towards your house, in a silence until Cass stops suddenly at your door. Gingerly, you climb down and try to regain your balance. There, safe and sound as promised. Mostly. Her usual smirk fades a bit as an awkward silence washes over you both. She scoffs the toe of her shoe against your porch. Look, I had a pretty okay time until, well, you know, until your friend tried to eat me. I was thinking until you attacked my way of my life, but yeah, that too. Your delicate human psyche isn't too banged up from that little encounter, is it? I don't want to be held liable for damages. Pretty sure it was dinged when you found it. But I'd be careful if I were you. It almost sounds like you care. What will Margot and the other Vernadays think? Sounds like you're the one who's getting ideas here, new girl. Don't let that imagination run away from you. A serious expression settles across her face, catching you completely off guard. Anyway, this'll have to be our last date for a while. The Coven's feeding this week ahead of the autumn festival, and as you saw, it can get pretty dangerous. Oh, well, try not to miss me too much. I know how hard it's gonna be for you not to accidentally pop up where you know I'll be. Don't kid yourself, we both know you're gonna miss me more, and I can prove it. You're about to deny it when she suddenly leans forward, bracing her arm on the door frame beside your head and bringing her face close to yours. You gasp as her eyes travel the length of your face, and you pause at your lips. Your heart races, and she huffs a laugh and steps back. I told you before, your heart gives you away every time. That doesn't mean anything. It could have just been as easily a mild heart attack. Or, you know, thinking she might eat you because she's a vampire. Embarrassed, you turn to the door and fiddle with your keys as she chuckles at your shoulder. Sure, it could be, new girl. You whip around, enticed by the banter, but as quickly as she appeared, she's gone, leaving you alone on the porch with a newly empty feeling in the pit of your stomach. The next week, you heed Cass's warning and lay low, making a mental note of the students conveniently missing from your classes. That's Bridget, Taylor, Missy Patel, David Yu, not to mention Cass and her shadow. Let's pick on someone we haven't heard from. Miss Reese, any ideas about inflation you'd like to share? It's bad. The class turns to you and chuckles, leaving your ears burning with embarrassment. Gabriel shoots you a sympathetic look. Well, I mean, you're right, Miss Reese, but would anyone like to elaborate as to why it's bad, Mr. Andahall, or maybe you? Well, there's the rising interest rates. Then the cost of groceries, gas, everything. His answers mercifully shifts the focus off of you, and you go back to the mental tally. But even as every eye in the room lands back on Mr. Phillips or a textbook or gazing longingly at the weather outside, you can't shake the feeling that while you're watching them, someone else is watching you. That weekend, you try to ignore the paranoia and head over to the hospital to meet your mom for lunch. With a brisk knock, you slip into her office and hold up a brown paper bag. Hey, Mom, hope you're hungry. I got Thai. Oh, well, your timing is impeccable. Oh, God, a mom pun now? We're used to dad puns. I do them all the time. But listen, a mom pun is just unbearable. I'm just wrapping up my report. Only you would make a joke while typing up findings on a body. Still working on Wood's murder? Dr. Junius has been pretty adamant that we close it this week, so I'm officially calling it an animal attack. But between you and me, something still doesn't sit right about this one. As she drums her fingers on her desk, you rifle through the takeout bag, well aware that her doubts have reached far beyond the two of you. Mom, you've done all you can. You're great at your job. You've given this case so much attention. Don't you think it's time to move on? Still, she doesn't look up from her crime scene photos, her fingers subconsciously stroking the victim's hair. It's just that the forest rangers haven't found any animals that might be behind the attacks. And even knowing that, the authorities haven't so much as declared a single person of interest. I set up a meeting with the sheriff. You did what? She jumps at your outburst and quickly you reel it back in. Mom, you're a medical examiner, not a private investigator. You've got to focus on your actual job because, you're new here. Being a newbie means following the rules, no matter how much you might want to break them. Your mom's eyes narrow at your lecturing. Speaking of following the rules, the school called a few days ago to make sure you were feeling alright. Apparently you left in the middle of the autumn festival meeting. Why on earth would you do that when you seemed so excited about it before? And then you came home late, looking like you'd been in the woods, which if you recall, we've talked about twice. She pauses for you to interject, but instead you take a bite of your takeout and chew as slowly as you can. She sighs. Look, I was trying to be the cool mom and went with the flow and didn't ask any questions. But as it turns out, I'm not as cool. And I've got plenty of questions, starting with where were you last week? I was getting a tour of the campus from Cass. For such a small town, the high school is bigger than you'd think. I was getting lost, so Cass offered to show me around. And I told her we'd should have let someone know before we were leaving, but Mom holds up a hand, cutting you off. Wait, catch me up. Is Cass your new girlfriend? What, Mom? Oh, come on. I want to know about who you were hanging out with. Tell me about her, please. Cass sounds like a male's name, but sure, it's a girl. Cass is just another student. I say hi if I pass her in the hallway, but leaving the festival meeting together was a one-time thing. Fine. I believe you for now, but if it turns out that that's not the case, oh well, I'll find out eventually. Oh, Mom, I'm 18 now. I'm an adult. Don't need you digging into my business all the time. Fine. Just one more question, and I'll leave it alone. Is she cute? It's a good thing you haven't told her about Gabriel, then she'd think, oh, that's scandalous. You groan and gather up your trash before heading for the door. You've got to have more pressing things to do than this. So I'm gonna let you finish. I'll see you at home. Desperate to get away from your mom's prying, you step out into the hall and head for the door, only to hear the faint sound of an acoustic guitar coming from the children's ward. Let me guess, it's Gabriel. Tell me how my heart can keep on beating. Tell me why these words won't leave the tip of my tongue. Wait a minute, I know that voice. You follow the sound down the hall, listening as the music gets louder and louder until finally you peer into a hospital room. I was right. The world's gone gray, but I will just rediscover how to bring back the color. Inside, you find Gabriel perched on the edge of a bed, guitar in hand, eyes closed, as he croons out a song for the gaggle of kids in gowns. A little girl notices you in the doorway and waves you in. He's really good. Yeah, he is. At the sound of your voice, he opens his eyes, seemingly stepping back into himself as he strums the last note. The kids clap enthusiastically. Good news, friends. Looks like we've got a special guest joining us today. For everyone, this is Parker. Ooh, is Parker your girlfriend? Josh. He shoots an apologetic look and a wink. You stoop to the little boy's level. Why is this any of Josh's concern? He's a child. Gabriel, 1, 2, 3. Start singing again. I don't want to answer this. He hasn't asked me yet. How do I check back with you when he does? Well, how many minutes is that gonna be? It may be days, it may be weeks, it may be months, it may be years for some people. You turn to look at Gabriel, noticing the blush that's scraping its way up his neck and ears before raising your eyebrows teasingly. Yeah, Gabriel. How many minutes? Well, that depends. What number says I'm interested without seeming too desperate? The kids quickly lose interest in the two of you and move on to the toys. Gabriel takes the opportunity to put his guitar down. You were incredible, but what were you doing? I volunteer in the children's ward as much as I can. The kids are great and all, and I like giving them something to be happy about. That's so sweet. And you were really connecting with the music. The way you played, sang, and just felt the music. It was personal, raw, real. And I don't know, I'd have to go back over the lyrics again, but it kind of made no sense. I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong. I guess that song just really speaks to me. Music in general has always been a saving grace for me after everything I lost. It's how I get the courage to tackle a new day. Can you play us another song, Gabriel? He grabs the neck of his guitar and looks at the boy with a smile. Of course, what would you like to hear next? I want to hear you sing with Parker. Oh, god damn it. No, don't make me do this. Please! Oh. I don't know if we'll know the same songs. Well, let's come up with one together. I think you'll be really good at it. The kids are a great audience, I promise. Write a new song to perform for the kids to spend some quality time with Gabriel. Oh, Christ. Okay, I have to sing. Listen, I should charge all of you extra. It's not worth it. Listen, just mute the video. I kid. I know I can sing, but I don't know. Sometimes the music and whatnot's offbeat in this app. The kids all let out a cheer after you agree. Yay, a new singer! I bet she's even better than Gabriel. Uh-oh, looks like your reputation as musical genius around here is about to be usurped by yours truly. I'm shaking. Why don't you take a seat and we'll see what you got. Double down. The seat taken? You slip into his lap, and as he fights, the obvious smile spreading across his face as he adjusts to play the guitar around you. All yours. Oh, does that mean they're married? Well, that means I'm still married to this day. I mean, what? I call Flower Girl. You and Gabriel dissolve into giggles as the kids assign themselves role in your imaginary wedding. Then he rests his chin on your shoulder, murmuring so only you can hear him. I was thinking we'd honeymoon in English lit class. The desks are so roomy and it's well within our budget. Okay, I didn't know Gabe became me. Goddamn smartass. Those kinds of great ideas are why I'm marrying you. He starts playing a simple tune on the guitar before glancing at you, and then out at the kids, a mischievous glint in his eyes. What do you think, friends? Do you want to hear Parker play it? Yeah! Do it! Do it! That's a little early to start teaching them peer pressure. You say peer pressure, I say encouraging others to go beyond their comfort zones. Oh, tomato. How about we do some easy chords? E minor to G, A minor to C, E to G, okay. As Gabriel walks you through the basic chord in short rhythm, you watch his fingers move easily over the strings, feeling safe in the circle of his arms. Your turn. Coughing fit, brought to you by, He moves your hands onto the strings, his chest pressed firmly against your back as he checks your positioning. A light touch sends goosebumps up your arms. Alright, Parker, show me what you've got. Alright. Oh, it gives a heart. What is the point of having a memory? First it was A minor to C. By to make a smile, you pretend that your hand slips down the fret and play all the wrong chords. The kids clap their hands over their ears. Oh no! My poor ears! Oops, guess I need a little more help, Mr. Gabriel. Oh, hi, kids. They all shout their agreement, and Gabriel laughs. He places his hand on top of yours and guides you through the tune once more. You focus more on his soft touch than the strings. Your heart jumps up as he leans in and whispers, only loud enough for you to hear. Very subtle. I don't know what you're talking about. I obviously just need some more hands-on training. With his guidance, the notes ring out loud and clear, and when he takes away his hands, you keep on playing. Hey, I'm doing it. Can we get some praise for Parker, please? You beam as the kids all cheer and high-five you, and Gabriel chuckles. Remind me, what were you saying about peer pressure? As you consistently play the melody, Gabriel begins to sing along, his voice low and gentle. A delightful chill runs over you as you feel his warm breath against your neck. You close your eyes for a moment, basking in the feel of his strong arms around you and the comforting sound of his voice. Alright, I gotta feel the rhythm for this. There was once a little mouse named Marty who wanted to make new friends. He decided he should have a party, so some invites he sends. Who should Marty invite over to his party, you guys? Burly Bear! Burly Bear is big and strong, and he likes to run and play. Whenever and wherever there's trouble afoot, he's there to save the day. Friendly Fox! All yours, Parker. Oh, for the love of... You look at the strings carefully, letting the melody guide you, and then... Friendly Fox loves to talk and say hi to everyone. She shows up at Marty's party before it's even begun. Feel a tug on your sleeve. Miss Parker, do you think, who do you think should come? Let's see. Marty the Mouse's next friend is Rascal Raccoon, Daring Duck, Timid Mouse. I'm gonna go with Rascal Raccoon. Cuts over your shoulder at Gabriel and find him already looking at you, your faces inches apart. I think I'll need some help with this one, though. I'll follow your lead. Rascal Raccoon loves to paint, but always makes a mess. So before they start to create their art, they're sure to change their dress. The kids all laugh and clap at your cute, silly words, and you feel a little unexpected sense of pride. So I was right, it is gibberish, kinda. As they start to create their own, you lean back and whisper. I think I see what you mean about music being a saving grace. I feel so in the zone. Music's always been my happy place. I'm just glad I got to share with you. Especially since that was the most adorable thing I've ever seen. The brush of his lips against your earlobe causes you to jolt and play the wrong note, but you quickly pull yourself together. Stick around, I can get even cuter. I have no doubt about that. Gabriel happily rests his chin on your shoulder as you resume singing, unable to wipe the smile from your face. The song comes to an end, the kids cheer. That was awesome! Parker, will you come back to visit us again? Gabriel looks super happy having you here with him. You smile, look over at Gabriel, who puts a hand over his forehead, trying not to laugh. Oh, I'm super happy with Gabriel too. You take his hand in your own and lace your fingers through his. Warm smile he gives in return is enough to make your breath catch. I'm glad. I know things have been hard since you moved here, but more than anything, I've wanted to put a smile on your face in spite of it all. Well, you picked the best helpers. Only the best for you. You duck your head to hide a smile, and high-pitched giggles fill the room. Oh, they're so cute! More like barf. Don't they care about cooties? Cooties, listen. Listen, little child. Shh. Cooties are the best part, okay? Cooties are the best part, okay? And one day you too will love cooties. You both try to ignore the comments, but burst out laughing, your hands still intertwined. What do you guys say? One more song? Yeah! One more song! One more song! One more song! Alright, alright. The kids cheers, Gabriel finds his fingering, and you watch. A sense of peace settles over him. But as Gabriel opens his mouth to start singing, he suddenly tenses, eyes on the doorway. You turn, following Gabriel's line of sight out into the hallway. What's up, Lewin? Come for a taste of the music we give? Out of the nurse's station, Lewin hands off a file, but his eyes are firmly locked on you. Your hands start to shake. Are you cold? I could get you a blankie. Oh, no. No, I'm fine. You don't look fine. Tell you what, friends. How about I take Parker home now and play an extra song for you next week? That sound fair? Oh, man. I'll be back, I promise. So keep practicing your singing. Gabriel slips the guitar strap over his head and ushers you out of the room and away from Lewin's unrelenting stare. In the hallway, he puts an arm around your shoulders. You can't help leaning into him, grateful for the security you feel whenever he's around. Let's get out of here. My favorite place in town is bound to put the smile back on your face. Shortly later, Gabriel pushes open the door to an arcade filled with pinging machines and flashing lights. You yell to be heard over the music. I'm not yelling. Whoa! Isn't it great? I work here on the weekends with Libby. He points to Libby across the room, reloading the coin machine, and when she notices you, she stuffs a wad of bills in your zip-up pouch and bounds over. Leave it to Gabriel Alhar to bring his paramour to work, of all places. What is this? Date 1, 2... Your eyes meet Gabriel's, and your face warms as a blush rises to his cheeks as well. No comment. He sidles a little closer to you as he answers Libby. This is me showing Parker the new VR game we just got in. We'll be in the back when you, clock out. Hey, Detective, leave us alone behind all that Aldahar charm. Message received, loud and clear. Have fun, you two. She leans in towards you, still talking loud enough to be heard over the pings of nearby games. Wish I could stick around to see how much game Aldahar has when he's trying to impress the girl he has his eyes on, though. I'll tell you how he does. Libby wiggles her fingers at you and then heads to a nearby table that just flagged her down. Shaking his head, Gabriel points to the far end of the room. Ready? To show you home court advantage doesn't exist when it comes to video games, definitely. Laughing, he brings you to a big screen TV in the back and hands you a set of virtual reality goggles. What kind of game is this again? It's called Monsters in Manhattan. Zombies have taken over Times Square and we're the only two survivors. So your idea to distract me from monsters in my life is to show me monsters in HD? Panic spreads across his face, and then quickly you reach out to touch his arm. I'm kidding. but can I just say I didn't peg you for a gamer? Chess club, maybe. With a good-natured roll of his eyes, Gabriel gets into a ready stance, aiming a grin your way. Oh, just get ready to have my back, okay? These things come at you pretty fast. Don't worry, I'll be right behind you the whole time, using you as a human shield. And Gabriel slip on the headsets on the screen as it counts down. For a moment, everything is dark and the music of the arcade fades away. And then, the hustle and bustle of New York floods your ears. A native shoves past you, shouldering you out of the way. Hey! You turn around to the outburst, eyes cloudy, and an open mouth, or a mouth open in zombified horror. Yeah, but I have a question. Why didn't the zombie attack you? Here we go. Zombie sprints at you, and Gabriel spars with a zombie on your left. You look around for a weapon. A wedding for the 21st century, or a slice of pizza? Is this supposed to be a joke? These are not weapons. But sure, we'll go with... No, you know what? Actually, I can shove the pizza in the zombie's mouth. Here we go. As the vendor hands a pizza to a waiting customer, you swoop in and snatch it away. Hey! Sorry, saving the world here. The zombie lurches towards you, and you shove the hot, cheesy deliciousness into his mouth before shoulder checking into the side of the van. Nice moves. Another angry zombie charges. Gabriel remains calm, stoops to move a heavy manhole cover. Seconds before the zombie grabs him, he steps out of the way, sending the zombie plunging into the deep. Right back at you. As more zombies file in, you get more physical, daring to throw a few kicks. Take that. Okay, I gotta admit, you're pretty good at this. You're not so bad yourself. The square floods with zombies, and one of them tries to hop on your back. Gabriel steps in the way. No! Zombie sinks his teeth into his neck, and game over! Flashes across your eye line. You yank the goggles off, relieved to be back in the arcade. Not bad for your first time playing. Yeah, remind me to add you to my Apocalypse Survivors group chat, because that was awesome. I thought you weren't here to watch. As you get readjusted to the light, you spot Libby sitting nearby, and the two of you slip into her booth. Thanks, but Gabriel was really killing it. It looked so easy, like he wasn't even trying. That's because he wasn't. I watched him beat this game in a half an hour last weekend. I wouldn't say I beat it. Okay, hot stuff. Game's up. You're only being all modest for Parker's sake. Libby! So you're saying he took a dive? Earth the Gabriel chivalry is not dead. God damn it, I'm tired of hearing this. It's not dead. Seriously, it's right here reading this shit to you. It wasn't that bad. Of course you weren't. He's just better. I'll believe it when I see it. What do you say we go again? I promise I'll give it everything I got. You're on. I say we take it off of 2-player and let you each show what you can really do. Wait, like a 1v1? Libby toys with the settings, and shortly after, Gabriel straps on the headset. Together, you and Libby watch the viewing screen. The background loads, and without preamble, zombies are everywhere. Without hesitation, Gabriel roundhouse uppercuts and stomps him into submission. Well, it's like watching a completely different game. I think he's showing off a little, but yeah. Must be famous Aldahar genes kicking in. At the mention of his last name, Gabriel tinches and the zombie breaks through his barrage of attacks. The monsters descend, and though he puts up a fight, it's all over in seconds. He whips off the headset. Libby, Parker doesn't want to hear about that. Hear about what? Have you heard? Our Gabriel's descended from vampire hunters. Your eyes shoot over to Gabriel, who goes completely still, but Libby just keeps talking, oblivious like a dumbass. According to town legend, there was a Captain Aldahar who was a huge deal in Crimson Beach back when the boogeymen roamed the earth. He was a protector for the whole town and wiped the vampires all out. Gabriel's a chip off the old block. Next to you, Gabriel refuses to meet your eyes, and you can't help but think about Cass's outburst in the gym. The whole uptight noble protector act is so cute, but you're forgetting something. I know a secret about you that would make Sweet Parker here think twice about walking around wearing such lovely antique. Your bracelet hangs coolly at your wrist. It's normal, forgettable, wait, now unbearable. Captain Aldar, huh? Must be some truth to the tale. I mean, I've seen the statue in the school. Vampire versus vampire hunter story must have come from somewhere, right? He continues to stare at Gabe, but he doesn't say a word. Libby clears her throat. I guess it could be, but I can't say for sure, since it's not my family history. Libby, break's over. Oh, this is where you win. Sorry guys, duty called. But enjoy the games. Let me know if you need anything. It's literally my job. Libby squeezes both of your arms and starts off, leaving you alone with a silent, stony Gabriel. So, we gonna talk about this? Outside's probably best. Really? Are you sure about that? You follow him to a bench out front. As you settle on the seat, he takes a deep breath. Oh, before you ask, yes, I'm the descendant of Crimson Beach's most infamous vampire hunter. There, my secret's all out in the open. So it's true? Why didn't you tell me? I let all my vampire stuff. Did you really not think I could handle yours too? He hesitates, choosing his words carefully. My forebears could be cruel. I don't know much about my family history, but what I do know is some great-great-grandfather of mine was a chief vampire hunter. He'd been involved in thinning out the vampire population in Crimson Beach back when they were running and rampant. You shudder, remembering the chilling accounts of the town vampires in Willing Pierce's journal. It was really, really good. He got the vampire population down to a controllable number, giving the humans a fighting chance. Gabriel sighs, his gaze falling to his lab. And then he hunted the remaining vampires for sport. He would torture them and keep their heads. Their heads? Okay, I get not sharing that, but why do you feel bad about it? I mean, you haven't gone vampire hunting, have you? You study Gabriel, but his gaze remains in his lap, his hands clenching into fists, and when he speaks, his voice is full of quiet rage. No, but sometimes I wish I could. The talisman I gave you is the last relic of my family. The vampires took everything from me. I hate vampires. I hate that I do, but most of all... You watch his fingers shake, but right as you're about to reach out to reassure him, he turns his pained gaze at you. I hate that sometimes I don't feel bad about what my ancestors did to them. His face crumples and he looks ashamed. Gabriel, I understand. A wave of sympathy rushes through you as you think about your mom, knowing you would feel the same anger if the vampires took her from you. You lost so much. I think it makes sense that you would feel this way. He lets out a sigh of relief, some of the tension leaving his body. So you don't think I'm crazy? You're allowed to feel how you feel. They hurt you. You don't have to pretend that they didn't. You take his hand in yours, reassuring, or squeezing in reassurance, and he smiles weakly. To be honest, it's a relief that to have gotten all this out in the open. At least, thanks for listening. Hey, we're a team here, remember? Two humans who know the town's deep, dark secret have got to stick together. He laughs a bit more warmly in the squeeze of his hand, communicating a thank you. As the sun sets around you, you check the time on your phone, then climb to your feet. I'm happy to lend an ear, especially about how much you've helped me. But if I don't get home at a reasonable time, my mom will finish me off before Lewin and Astoria get the chance. Let me walk you. I know a shortcut. As night falls, Gabriel leads you behind an old stone church, standing imposingly with all the lights out for the night. For the first time in a while, he smiles. The arcade is my favorite place to be during the day, but at night, nothing tops this. You lift some branches out of the way as you step down a pathway, the brick walls overgrown with vines. Whoa. You take in the sight of the wild-looking plants and patches of flowers growing over the broken stones. Squinting, you recognize them as gravestones. You brought me to a graveyard? Now we're talking. Please tell me this means you've got more lore for me. I didn't want to push earlier, but I'm dying to know more about local legends. He laughs and you realize your pun. Okay, maybe not dying, but... I get it, this is Crimson Beach we're talking about. There's always more lore. This church has been here since the Crimson Beach was founded. My family's lived in the town for centuries. There's even a family plot in the back. My favorite part of the cemetery, though, is the moonflowers. With a grin, he reaches over your shoulder to a vine right behind you, covered in flowers, their pale white petals seeming to have an otherworldly glow in the moonlight. And gently he plucks one off of the vine and offers it to you. It's beautiful, thank you. Take the moonflower and brush your fingers against his. You meet your eyes, and under the moonlight, the flower glow lights up his face. Anytime. With a sigh, Gabriel steps back, his gaze moving to the ground for a moment, and then he looks back up, and he looks almost guilty. Parker, I know it's none of my business, but I can't keep this anymore. I know you left the gym with Cass the other day. Oh, Dad. It's your life, but as the only Aldahar left, I feel like it's my job to look out for everyone. And I was really worried about you. Listen, I can take care of myself. I really appreciate you looking out for me, and I know you feel all this pressure, but I'm not weak or helpless. I know you're not. But it's different with a vampire. Gabriel, I wasn't defenseless. I have the talisman, remember? It could have warned me if Cass wanted to hurt me. It didn't react at all until... You cut yourself off, knowing immediately that you slipped up, and from the look on his face, you know he caught it too. Until what? Until a member of the Benedy hunting party confronted us in the woods and warned Cass to stay away from me. Gabriel takes a measured breath. Oh, that... Benedy was right. Cass should stay away from you. She's using you for her own sick amusement. And I don't know where that leaves you when she gets bored. I think you're wrong about her. She's reckless, and I know she's dangerous, but she's also young at heart. I could feel that when I was with her. And I think your trust in her is misplaced. That may be, but who I spend my time with is my decision. Gabriel, please just trust me. He smiles ruefully. It's not you I don't trust. He lets his sentence trail off as he takes you in, and you get the feelings looking deep into you, mulling over everything you've told him tonight. I knew you wouldn't be able to leave the vampire stuff alone completely, and I can't fault you for being curious. I like that about you. And that's probably what she likes about you, too. He says it under his breath, so quietly you aren't sure if you were meant to catch it. Before you can say anything, he bumps his hip against yours and points to a row of graves, a smile tugging at his lips. That curiosity is the whole reason I brought you here. See those graves over there? What about them? If they're his parents. Oh, they're completely empty. Vampires use them to keep their immortality a secret. No way. Gabriel grins and it reaches his eyes now. Way, if you're interested, I'll tell you what I've learned about the graves and the vampires they belong to. Consider it a peace offering for being in your business. Diamond choice. What are we waiting for? Excitedly, you start off down the road, Grace. Gabriel laughs as he moves quickly to keep up with you. As you walk, you read out the names and dates you see. Anna Margaret Mary Mount. Born 1873, died 1915. Francis Pratt, born 1601, died 1650. These things go back centuries. I wasn't kidding when I said this church is as old as the town itself. You crouch down and sweep away some dried flowers and dead leaves from two nearby stones. Lloyd Jansen and Elma Zhang. Also known as Lewin and Astoria. Well, they're early 1900s identities, at least. You're kidding. Lewin and Astoria are aliases? Why? Vampires need to leave town for a few decades at a time, so the townspeople don't realize they're immortal. Sometimes they do it by dying and taking a new name. They fake their own deaths? Do they change their looks when they come back? Oh my god, can you imagine Lewin being a flower child in the 70s? And Gabriel both burst out laughing. I won't be able to get the mental image of him putting on an eyeliner while listening to Sex Pistols out of my head, ever. And please tell me a story I got the Rachel haircut in the 90s. I'm sorry, a what? I'm pretty sure she would kill you for even suggesting it. You finally get yourselves together and continue down the row of graves. That one belongs to the cashier at the supermarket. Oh, and that one's the postman's. Considering I know those people are both very much alive, I'm guessing that means... Yep, vampires. Seriously. They're both so nice. Vampires can't be bloodthirsty all the time, or they wouldn't stay a secret. To be honest, it's the nice ones who make my feelings towards vampires the most complicated. You think of the postman waving and greeting every day. Yeah, I can see why. Gabriel brings you to a nearby grave, and a pained look crosses his face. Sarah Adderhall. My grandmother. Reach over and wordlessly touch his arm. She had been doing a lot of research into my family. Said she was working on a genealogy project. That's how she learned about vampires. I don't know how long the Aldahar family's vampire hunter past has been buried, but when she uncovered it, it was the beginning of the end. He clears his throat roughly, and when you look over, his expression is tight and haunted. Hey, you don't have to tell me all this. No, I want to. You're the only one I can talk to about this. It helps, really. Well, then I'm listening. He takes a moment to steady himself, his eyes never leaving his grandmother's stone. Once she learned about the existence of vampires, they were here. Where we lived, she told me the truth. The sensory talisman was a family relic she'd found in her research. She gave it to me to keep me safe. You look down at your wrist, where his sensory talisman rests against your chilled skin. She also found out the Aldahar hunters developed a whole stash of silver-based talismans that they used to torture the vampires they caught. Did she collect them all? Like Pokemon? No, when she figured out the location, she found the stash empty. Sometimes I wish she had never learned about any of it. If she hadn't, maybe things never would have ended up the way they did. And if she hadn't given me the sensory talisman, then maybe she... He doesn't finish his thought, but he doesn't have to. I'm sorry. You can practically feel his sadness. In an effort to comfort him, you reach out. Your fingers caress the soft skin of his cheek, and his eyes flutter shut as he leans into your touch, completely vulnerable and open. Thank you for trusting me with this, with everything you've told me tonight. I was afraid that if I told you these things, you might see me differently, and then you might not like what you saw. That couldn't be further from the truth. The more I learn about you, the more I want to be here for you. Be here with you. He grips your hand in his as your palm cradling his face is the only thing holding him together. As you part, you look down at your wrist, touching the sensory talisman. I feel weird holding on to something so personal of yours. You should take it back. No. I want you to keep it. It's important to me that you're safe, and I'll do what I can to assure that, starting with the talisman. He gingerly touches your bracelet, the motion so gentle and protective your heart aches. Gabriel. Suddenly, the vines nearby rustle, and you practically leap out of your skin. He jumps in front of you as a bird takes off into the night. Okay, nature. Thanks for scaring the living crap out of me. It's nature. He lets out a breath and forces a shaky laugh, looking out to you over his shoulder. Feels like a sign we should get out of the cemetery. A minute. You want to leave before the vampires get us, don't you? You shouldn't be... You should joke about that. Even as he says it, Gabriel grins. You decide to lean into it and put on a voice. They're coming to get you, Barbara. Ha! He shakes his head, smile widening still. Okay, that's zombies. If you're going to make light of your own safety, at least get the supernatural creature right. Fair enough. He bumps your shoulder with a laugh before looping his arm through yours. Together, the two of you leave the graveyard, the metal gate creaking behind you as it closes. Later, the two of you make it to your doorstep, and with all that's been said between you, you can sense he's as reluctant to part ways as you are. So I guess this is good night. Maybe I'll see you at school on Monday. Why is it maybe? Yeah, Monday. Still, neither of you move to leave. Finally, break the comfortable silence and say, "Hey, Gabriel. Let's do this again sometime. Maybe even as a date." A grin spreads across his face, and as he steps closer, your heart races. "So you're saying I didn't scare you off?" "Actually, no. I want you to be more able to be open, to trust me. I like you." Words surprise him, but just as you think it may have been too much, he steps closer before pulling you in a hug, and in your ear he whispers, "They're behind you, Barbara." I mean, what? I like you too. I can't tell you how much it helps to be able to share things with you. I don't feel so alone anymore. You stand there unmoving in each other's embrace, the warmth of his arms around you contrasted with the cool night air. Makes you never want to leave, but you know you have to. Finally, you part for the night, and Gabriel gives you one last wave before rounding the corner of your street. You practically soar up to your room, head still spinning from all of the revelations of your day with Gabriel. When you head to the window to draw your curtains, you pause. Looking out the window, you see a person leaned over, talking to someone in an indistinct parked car. Though it's dark, you can tell that the figure is unmistakably Gabriel. Who is he talking to at this hour? Seconds later, Gabriel stands up straight, takes a step back, allowing the streetlight to illuminate the face of the driver. Lewin? Oh my god! I'm so shocked! Okay. Without further ado, I love your beautiful faces. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down description below, links to social media, Discord, links to support me and my content. And also hit that thanks / join button, or the link for join. It's a great way of supporting me, this community, keeping the lights on, VIP coming, and the diamonds. Okay? It's, as I've said this before, and I'll say it again, it's a way of me doing this so you don't have to if you don't want to, because I know there's a lot of you anymore who are like, Choices app, what's that? And you're like, no, I get my choices from, YouTube, and I don't fault you, especially with, let's be honest, I mean, time is money, money is time, and both, I mean, you can make money, right? Time is something that is finite. Really, truly, it is. And it's something that, again, I do this to where you guys can listen in your cars on your drive home. I do this to where you guys can listen whenever, and you don't have to keep your eyes attuned to the screen if you don't want to, because I read pretty much word for word with 99.8% accuracy. That's right, 8. Sometimes I improvise and do better changes, or subtle changes, or I do screw up here or there. Usually I correct myself, but 99.8% of the time it's to accuracy. And there are 99.9% other choices channels out there that don't read this. I'm the only channel who's up to date and read this. And then in terms of reading, Imogen Nevermore is the only other person who currently reads choices. She's slowly working on it, You go light a fire under her bum. But I'm trying to, empower her to do more choices. I know she does a lot of other content, though. Feel free to check out her 2 channels that she has. But yeah, anyway. Lewin, I mean, think about this. So Lewin represents the house that is vegetarian, right? Per se. They don't do the whole hunting thing. For all you know, he could be in cahoots, or at least supporting Aldahar, and vice versa. He could have been the one that saved him. Who knows? Who knows? Right? So there's a lot of mystery and intrigue, or they could have just been, Lewin could be keeping an eye on him, like, what are you doing with her? Roar! and it puts some drama and intrigue and all that garbage into it. So I don't know. Let me know your thoughts down below. Without further ado, I love your beautiful faces. Thank you all for watching. Hope you all did enjoy, and I'll catch you all next time. Peace out.